Well,
I'm
that's
sure you're not completely wrong.
I hate to say it, but it is an Enigma counter. Uh, um, yeah, that's one of the 6 heroes basically you look for. Warlock. I love that the Nemiga wants to pick this hero. This hero's been getting a bit of love in Western Europe lately. I think Pexu's one of the guys who's been playing Warlock lately. A long range stun goes in nicely with the bristleback for the damage. You have Zeus, who also is a big enjoyer of the Fatal Bonds connection. Tusk with his right-click amplification with the tag team. I think there's some really good burst damage on the side of Nemiga while maintaining a good amount of pressure, map control, tempo control, and a good timing on their side. I really like this Nemiga draft, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm loving the Nemiga draft. The Tusk runs around the map and he gets kills. If the enemies want to respond with TPs and let's say the Zeus and the Warlock are there, they can literally 3 versus 5 the entire lineup of X3 just with the damage that they're bringing in. Plus then you're creating enough space for Bristleback to get his Zags and then absolutely demolish everything that X3 have. I'm liking what X3 are going for now. They go for the Weaver. I think it is a smart move to try and destroy the lanes. Marcy and the Weaver can actually hunt down the Zeus, or in the possibility of the Tusk being positioned forward, they can even kill him. He is not the he is tanky, but not the tankiest of the bunch, especially if he's a support. So I'm liking what X3 are going for. They have these mobile heroes, Tiny, Weaver, Marcy. They can kind of run circles. I think the most important thing for X3 is here, don't allow Nemiga to run at you, run at them. If it is Tusk going in first, head first, with the Warlock and the Zeus behind him, your turnaround potential is weak. But if the Tiny and the Weaver are running in first with the Marcy at hand, you get one of the supports first, then this Tusk isn't going to be as powerful as he would like to be. So I'm liking what X3 are going for in a sense to responding with this beautiful draft of Nemiga.
Yeah, so how do you close these drafts out? Because Nemiga, I mean, they already have a pretty pristine draft. Is there anything that X3 can really shake off Nemiga basically with the last pick? Is there any last pick that is good enough to tip the balance into their favor?
I'm okay with X3's draft. You're probably gonna wait for the enemies to pick their heroes so you kind of know what's going on. But I like their ideas. I just want something to complement them. So a position 5 or a position 4 that does a ton of damage, I would go that route. If you want to put the Marcy in the 4 role, of course. So I would just like a bit more damage on them so that once you catch the hero, that he definitely dies. I wouldn't want X3 to come to a point where you run into the Warlock and then there's a Tusk snowball saving him. You cannot allow that to happen. So just think in those regards. Something like a Witch Doctor is actually pretty solid because then you can actually kill the Bristleback, which would be quite nice.
So you're saying Marcy Enigma is not the support duo?
I'm thinking it is not, and I would rather see some more damage on the support duo. If the supports are that weak in damage, which Marcy and Enigma are, it's gonna create a problem for X3.
Right. I like the Marcy Weaver idea, and potentially Enigma could play with a 3 Tiny if that's something X3 would like to experiment on. But just because of this Bristleback, if this Bristleback ends up being the safe lane carry, I would like to see a more damage dealing pause 3 to go with the Enigma. Someone who can solo lane either as well. Honestly, the best option coming into mind is breaking the Bristleback. Viper. Bring out the Viper pick. Sorry, Viper's actually banned. So don't bring the Viper pick. So honestly, this is...
Hoodwink.
Yeah, they actually did ban the Hoodwink last game in the last phase.
You pick a Hoodwink now if you're X3. You play the Hoodwink Weaver or Hoodwink Enigma. I'd rather put the Hoodwink with the Enigma, I'd say. But just because I like the Marcy with the Weaver so much, it is pretty solid to deal with the Tide. I think that is the play here. Hoodwink is just an amazing hero for X3, and it will give you that burst potential so that Tiny can just run in and kill anyone that he likes.
Well, down to 3 seconds. X3 going to be closing out the draft. We're going to bring out the OD out of all heroes, and that is looking like a 3 Enigma and a mid OD to bring out for X3. And Natty Narble going to be facing off against a Tusk mid from Marine. So Zeus is being put into the pause 4 role with our Warlock support and stuff like that. So What do you think about these drafts now that you really see the positions they're going to be going in?
I love the Nemiga draft. It is so easy to read what you need to do in the game, and there's not much to that you should be afraid of. The thing is, though, I like what X3 came up with as well, just because the problem is a lot of the emphasis is going to be playing around the OD. That is the only thing. That is what kind of gives the edge to Nemiga, is because they can play all around the map, around all heroes. Tusk can be everywhere, and the OD is kind of static, and you have to run towards him. But still, X3, I like the idea of going for the OD, because Bristleback, Tidehunter, Tusk, everyone gets eaten by this hero, and he can get a relatively early BKB. I think a Witchblade into a BKB is most likely going to be his item choice. So I'm okay with it. The problem I see is Nemiga, if they just dodge the OD, it's gonna be problematic.
Yeah, the OD kind of nicely sits into the picture on destroying at least 3 of the heroes on Nemiga's side, but I feel like this Tusk can be a bit of an issue. I've seen a couple good Tusks in some pub games, talking like top 500, top 300 games at time from time. I think MTD has played it a couple times. I think Melreen has played Tusk in the mid lane a couple times. I believe a couple, maybe 2 or 3 other players I've also seen playing the mid Tusk. And they've all actually had a pretty good time coming out of the laning stage. And do you think it comes down to the type of skill build they go for? Because I've seen a lot of skip tag team, max out Snowball and Shards. Like Snowball max has been a thing.
That is the way that you play the mid lane Tusk right now.
Yep.
Tag team in the lane doesn't give you anything, especially in this game against the OD, who has a lot of armor. It's a problem. I actually think that OD is one of the best solutions to the mid lane Tusk, just because you have so much armor. The way that the mid lane Tusk plays the lane in itself is that he attacks the creeps, and he shards you when only his creeps are left, and then he just right clicks you, and a lot of heroes just take a lot of damage there. But the OD is this type of a hero who, 1, he does a lot of damage, 2, he's not that susceptible to physical damage. So in terms of laning, I'm really liking this. I just think that Melreen will create so much chaos on the map that X3 will get lost at some point. You have 2 very immobile heroes in the OD and the Enigma, and you need to be running between them. So I'm looking at Nesphere, I'm looking at SMN, I'm looking at Rink. They're really gonna have to read the map. They're gonna get their rotations in order, because these guys are gonna be very easy targets if they are alone.
One thing I have been kind of paying attention to X3 is one of their winning combos, which was the Zeus and the Beastmaster. They've only played it twice. They've also have a 100% win rate on those 2 heroes. They're going to be playing against the Zeus this time. There's obviously no Beastmaster, but there's the Tidehunter, who has some similarities, but still a completely different hero. Do you think they can exploit a lot of kills on from Hellscream, like killing this Zeus over and over? He's gradually but slow. He does have the new, well, not new, but Heavenly Jump, basically, which enables him to get that extra distance, slow down the people who are chasing him, but it doesn't really affect Shikuchi. So this Weaver could still hunt down the Zeus despite him jumping away.
If he doesn't get caught by the dispose, he is gonna live. The Zeus is a relatively tanky hero, 600 HP, 4 armor. It is not easy to bring down. So I'm thinking that X3 are gonna have more chances of killing Vazia in that top lane. But sure, in the mid game, I think you can kill the Zeus multiple times, and that's probably gonna be the hero that you're running to, because first of all, So Bad isn't gonna be guarding the Zeus. That's not gonna happen. And the idea for X3 is here: kill one hero and then chase for more. That is what your lineup is good at. And, Zeus is going to be the one defending tower. So I think that's a good point. When X3 are attacking a tower with the Enigma Eidolons, maybe the OD rotating there, you just run in with all heroes and you kill Hellscream. When the TPs start coming in, that is actually a really good point to how you should approach the game as X3.
One very minor detail, but I love the way that they place down this ward, because it's not going to be inside the tower attack range, which goes over here. So You have the ward placed down, you still got the vision for the top side, but you cannot scout it by walking in this direction and try to get the D ward with, oh, they have vision here. Because this ward is not going to show under the tower. So that's, you know, they're not even testing it. But I think that's a really good ward position to hug the tree, basically, there.
It is the best one. It's something that we see more and more from the mid laners. Obviously, the supports are gonna start bringing in 2 sentries just to be super annoying and take away your ward anyways, but it is one of the best positionings for a ward.
Yep. S-Sphere unable to snatch the bounty rune, so it's going to be 3-1 going in favor of Nemiga. And some tips are going in the way of Narink. He's able to toss one of the players out of the way to be able to get himself the bounty rune. Otherwise, that would have been a full set. Going
actually, Narink tossed Tusk, but Malrine put a really good shards, and then Narink couldn't get it. That's why they're tipping him like, haha, SMN was the one that got the rune. But it was a pretty interesting battle there between Malrine and Narink overall.
Yep. Here comes the first dispose as well, but it's just a bit of a poke here from SMN. SMN and Zeus both sharing a decent amount of right-click damage, so they're able to keep trading against each other's. Marcy has 3 armor. Should be good to battle it out with the Zeus. He's kind of limited as well with his mana usage here. He's already leveled up his Heavenly Jump to kick things off. That will enable him to reposition from potential disposes. Vazia already down to half HP here with the poke from SMN and Nesphere. But one thing we do want to keep an eye open on is this mid lane.
Vazia's in trouble.
Oh, he's actually in trouble now. Oh, okay. Well, let's we'll dive back in to see. Okay, he's okay for the time being. Dispose is ready. SMN, he's going to go in. He's going to grab the Zeus.
There's no jump.
No jump this time. And again, the connection coming out from Nesphere with a Sakuchi. Good pokes, good pokes.
Yeah, for sure. X3, they played that lane quite nicely. I think they just should have waited for the dispose to come back from the from SMN, and then Vazia would have died. The thing is, the Weaver got level 2 and SMN didn't, and that made it hard for him. The second they saw the Zeus having the Heavenly Jump and it being used, they knew it was time to go for the Tide.
Yep. Toss under the tower and the Bristleback, but he does have the Bristleback on the Bristleback, so he's not going to die to the tower at least. But here we go. Crab Orchestra connected onto Vazia. They will break the bug. And here comes the dispose. And this Tidehunter is looking to go down as first blood. Anchor Smash still on cooldown. Right clicks flying through. Nesphere needs to cut the right trees down. Tidehunter able to hide. And Hellscream poking SMN. SMS very low on HP. Who's going to be the one falling first? They're going to jump in. I'm going to take down Vazia. Very good usage there by SMN. And able to get the first blood on the Tidehunter.
This is really smart from X3. Chasing this use usually is something that you are gonna be thinking about, but the thing is, the Tide is a very valid target when you have a Weaver just because of the Swarm. You can see how much emphasis Nemiga are putting on just removing the Swarm from the Tide, because let's face it, from the right clicks themselves, when he uses the Anchor Smash, he really doesn't take that much damage.
Very good idea to maybe kill the Bristleback. That could be a potential kill. Yes, it will. Very good read. He was hiding inside the tree line for a second. Actually, sorry, that was the Tiny hiding behind the trees, baiting the Bristleback to go in to throw in another Cool Spray. Unfortunate for him, the Enigma and his Eidolons are already under the tower, so he just gets tossed under the tower into the Malefice and just basically gets nuked by the tower, the Eidolons, and the full damage from these two. So Karatic got a bit of an upset there.
That is something that the Tiny just enables you. The Tiny Enigma is probably the best partner to go with the hero. Sugarat, we can see that he is struggling. He can never get close to the crease, but at least getting a kill that you otherwise shouldn't is always gonna be pretty big. And the Enigma is getting a lot of experience. So overall, X3, I think the way that this lane is going, they should be more than happy.
Yep, and Hellscream is not happy in the other end. Again, getting disposed and getting poked. Not getting too much done in this lane either. He's buying time for Vazia, but all of this time spent is basically him trying to outlive all the damage that is dealt into his general direction. Enigma also farming under the tower. Sugarat needs to start ramping up on the CS department, and the rank, if only he had a toss target. It probably might have been the end of the Enigma if he actually tossed him under. He did have some stick charges, so probably would have been okay. Just needed to be a tad bit closer. These are...
Natty Narwhal.
Yep.
Go on.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Natty Narwhal is crushing the mid lane. I'm liking that they actually found a response to the mid lane Tusk, because Malrine is getting destroyed. Even there was even a rotation from Ring to take the water rune, so it completely destroyed the lane for Tusk. You can see that he just cannot pressure the OD, and the idea of the Tusk is that he's always keeping the enemy mid laner low. This time around, he just can't do the same.
Yeah. It's a bit of a worrying sign that this Tusk isn't getting as much as he would want to. Might see some early
Bottom lane.
rotations, but again, they're going to go for the Bristleback, the same combo again, but Zobat has the heal. And even standing in the tower range for a bit to get a couple extra quill sprays to connect onto the Tiny, hoping for a lucky kill. Didn't quite get it, though. Malrine also rotated here. So he's going to have to go all the way back to the mid lane, and OD is just free farming.
Yep, even more destruction going Malrine's way. Let's see how he's gonna deal in a game that is actually not going well for him at all. Usually the Tusk should be okay against the OD if it's a position 4 Tusk against the mid OD, because you get a blink and your whole idea of the game is we're gonna jump the OD when he pops his BKB and we're just gonna destroy him. You have the Walrus Punch, you slow him down enough and one of your cores kills him. But a mid lane Tusk, maxing the first and second spell, it's not gonna be that great.
They're fighting in the top lane, at least keeping a bit of a poke on the Tidehunter. Just a contest that's in the mid lane. Ring, no toss available. And there's the snowball from Marine. The avalanche is not quite enough. OD does have an ulti available, but just not enough stacks up to throw in a big bombardment here.
You want some of this, eh?
Also, if Marine is very fast with his fingers, he could just snowball dodge the ult. Oh, they're gonna go in. Looking for the Tusk, but the slow for the Heavenly Jump. Really good usage from Hellscream, but is it enough, though? 5 seconds for the snowball. One more right click on the ult, and that's gonna do it. No high ground misses today.
Yeah, that was really close for Malrine to survive, though. You know, when I saw SMN, I was like, okay, this is not gonna be ending well for the Tusk, but he even went in with the snowball, but Hellscream's Heavenly Jump, it really does help him there for a second. Top lane Vazia.
There's the poke. And the Anchor Smash will buy some time. No toss for 5 seconds. He could just keep up the chase, but
Help is coming.
that is gonna hurt the Tiny a lot if he stays. And here's the backup. Tusk is here. He instantly gets revealed. He A-clicks down on the ground just to get spotted by a ward right away. So that's that. They're able to dodge it. But hello, SMN. You might have actually been safe for a second, but Toss. Oh, it got enemies on both sides. They actually kill Vazia, so it might pay off in the end. Is he going to get some backup from his allies? And the Ring's coming in from the side, and yes, he does. Gets
Bottom
close
lane.
enough to help him out of the way, and now punishing Kiritich as well. X3 getting a lot of good damage all over the map. And again, a teleport in for the Warlock to save him there in the bottom lane. And that is, again, X3 just coming out with some really good moves and making this look a lot better than Game 1's laning stage, Harry.
I'm liking that they are playing with the OD and the Enigma together. Sure, they didn't get the kill, but they get the idea of how they should play. And they even caught Malrine now. He's not looking like he can survive this one.
Very good moves. And Hellscream should be done for as well.
He has the jump.
That's a very long jump for a Zeus. But Natty Narble just relentless chase into the tree line. They will not let him run away. I mean, you guys are already here. Might as well push the advantage as you're all here. So, again, 6 kills now for X3.
Really good, really good. X3, this is the way that you should play. Rotate the OD towards the Enigma and rotate everyone else towards the OD. If you would rotate everyone else towards the Enigma, it just wouldn't be enough. But if Enigma and the OD are together, then you can come over. So X3, first they force out the rotation on the bottom lane with the 2 of them, and now everyone comes to the OD and you get some really key kills.
They're targeting the Tidehunter. It's going to be 4 versus 1 on Vazia with no Ravage, but he could level it up in a moment of panic. He sees all these low HP heroes. Might actually pop it here. Nope, doesn't get the time for it. Ring was also getting a lot of HP out of that. Marcy was just chilling for the assist goal, just standing around in the area. And into mid for some XP and some farm.
The thing for Nemiga is that Kiritich is still getting a ton of farm. He survived the first black hole. Other than that one tossback death that he had, he has been pretty much untouched. And once he gets the Ags, we were talking about the Fatal Bonds, Zeus, and the Bristleback. That is really gonna start hurting. But I think so good so far for X3 for sure.
So far, so good. At least what I wanted to see this game, Harry, is exactly happening, and that is X3 potentially playing their last game in the division. So they want to play more Dota. They really want to play more Dota and at least stretch this series into 3, and then potentially even avoid a tiebreaker situation for elimination. So if they win this game, they're still in the run for it, and that's the spirit you want to see. You're not giving it up easily, because Nemiga is #1 in the division. Let's not forget about that. This is the top team of the group so far.
Yeah, it's gonna mean a lot for their confidence for sure if they do get the win. X3 are going for a smoke here. With the OD having the Midas, he wants to gear up for the late game as well. So Bristleback's timing is gonna be from minute 20 to 30.
They're going for the Bristleback as well. Perfect target to go for. The ring could just toss in SMN. And are they gonna do that? Yes, they will. Dispose is available, but Golem.
He just turns around.
He just turns out. He almost drops the base on top of him, and now they're gonna be targeting the OD. Surrounded by 4. It has backfired for X3. The entire team of Nemiga just surrounding this OD and cuts down that killing spree.
This is okay, so I'm okay with the Midas, but the thing is it has to change how you play. Again, if you buy a Midas, you say we do not invade the triangle. It is too risky. We don't have that extra item. Let's say a Force Staff or a Witchblade on the OD that's gonna make it worth it. And now even the Rink is gonna be in trouble. That play was enough for Nemiga to start their turnaround. Now they are the ones forcing out rotations.
And Tusk is also going for a Midas here. Just needs a bit of about 200 gold to finish it off. A lot of prep towards the late game. We might be in for a long one, Harry.
Yeah, I think so. I think he saw the Midas on the OD and he understands that the late game, not like just when the mid game starts, but the late game from 35 to 45 minutes, let's say, is gonna be in favor of X3 because the OD will be killing everyone. But if the Tusk gets something like a Halberd, he gets to level 25 and such, he can actually keep the OD in place. I'm not sure if you watched Thompson played one Tusk game. He went for Butterfly and a Halberd, and he had level 25, and he was literally constantly bashing the enemy. So that could be the build that Malrine is gunning for this game with the Midas.
Yeah, could be something, yeah. Butterfly is definitely a very good right-click improver, and I believe, I mean, Thompson is one of those guys who builds some kind of intuition into build more freely, kind of break out from the conservative builds, try something different. It might work out, but you just need the team around you. That's usually the big difference as well. Like, you just need to have a cooperating team that does help you. And Nemiga is in a good position and has been in a good position throughout the season. So I would like to see a wild build from this Tusk.
Considering that he's going for the power treads, to me it's looking like he's going to be going more for the attack speed build. For him to be able to stand his ground, you need... I think Halberd is going to be the choice for Tusk here at some point. Maybe you get a Blink or a BKB. I'd say BKB more likely, but something like a Halberd definitely does make sense because, you know, if you're the OD, you're never going to be building into an MKB, and both the OD and the Weaver are ranged heroes, so 5 seconds of a disarm is definitely going to be a big hit to their damage.
We have a tiny break here as well. Tusk has disconnected. Apparently some internet drop issues, so hopefully those get sorted out as soon as possible. Get the Tusk back online. There we go.
There is.
Speak of the devil. Rate this Enigma build. Mana Boots earn stick.
Into a Blink BKB or just Mana Boots earn stick?
Just the Mana Boots earn stick.
I'm gonna rate it low just because I think Enigmas generally tend to have more at this point in the game. But to be honest, I think that's the right build for the Enigma. I just think that there should be, if you're buying the Urn, there needs to be more emphasis on giving that Urn charge to the Enigma. So I would have wanted to see at least one more rotation from Nat in our role going towards the Enigma.
Okay. I was about to give like a 8 or an 8+. Mainly because this Urn of Shadows is acting as extra armor and extra mana regen. Let's see how he survives this. Does that armor keep him alive? Well, he's got 1 HP basically, but all the first damage, a bit too much to deal with. Green able to get out. SMN couldn't get the dispose on time.
I think you're completely wrong. And
He was, I'm not sure what happened there with SMN. He was just clicking around, but he wasn't actually landing the spells, so they missed an opportunity to kill the Tusk, but at least they get the Warlock instead.
It's because of the big belly. There's a big circumference there because of the Tusk's belly, and then you need more time to actually put your arms around them. So pretty much eating more food, being from a more colder climate, save the Tusk there overall.
Imagine if that was a thing in Dota, that because of your hero size, you wouldn't be able to cast a spell like successfully. So there would be a percentage chance to fail a spell. If that was a mechanic in Dota, what would be the most interesting interaction? I guess that's one thing, like having it disposed, you're going for a full Nelson halfway and then you end up falling flat and you get stunned instead. What would be an interaction that you would love to see, like fail a cast?
I'm gonna have to think about that. If I get to an answer, I'll actually tell you. But I don't really think that you should be able to toss an Underlord, you know, he or anyone as big as that either way.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking something like when Meepo levels up a new clone, but then it actually spawns an illusion instead of a hero.
Okay. I definitely wasn't thinking about Meepo, given that that hero is very popular right now and everyone is playing it because it's so good. But either way, coming back into this game, Nemiga, they have been able to slow things down. So the next ones that are going to be hitting the big timings are going to be them with the Ags on the Bristleback, and then you can start moving forward. I think are there no BKBs on X3? You can just walk into the Roche once you have the Warlock Golem again.
Yep. Warlock Golem, and once you have the Aghanims on this Bristleback as well, which is not too far away anymore. Just a couple hundred gold and he's finished it off. By the looks of it as well. SMN able to disengage. He popped the Unleash and everything. Maybe a bit of a panic use of a spell there, but at least able to get out. Marine is starting to work on his BKB. He's bringing an extra clarity on the courier. Thought he had something built in between, but would be a bit... he would have much more net worth than this if it was 15 minutes and he'd already have Midas Boots and an item on top when going into BKB, so it's not that big. Zeus ulti scouting out.
I still think Nemiga now with an Axe and the Bristle, you want to force a fight. The most obvious place to do so would be the Roche. The top tier one has already fallen, and you know, going for the mid tier one just with the with full force of your lineup, it's most likely not gonna work. You're gonna get one hero disposed and he's gonna die, and suddenly your fight is not looking great. So try to get the enemies out in the open will be the move from them right now.
So you talked about the Halberd on the Tusk, but I really like that this is a team game. Vazia is the one who's building the Halberd for the team, and he's just finished, I believe, his Blink Dagger is on the Courier. Yes, sir. So Vazia optimizing to go for the extra disarm because he is, in the end, the second tankiest hero in the team. And now with that fresh axe, they go straight for Roche.
I think X3 should not respond to this. They should not do it, even if they would have a... Yeah, I don't think it's... Oh, DD on the Weaver. That's actually a big one. That is something that can poke long enough for Nemiga to think twice.
You need Churkarat for this. I wish this was not one of those games where you have to fight the opponent, the Enigma is not there when it's going to happen. He needs to split push, but he also needs to be here for the team fight. So... as long as he's able to teleport, which he does, and look at that beauty of a Ravage! Gonna catch completely off guard on X3, but here comes Churkarat, and he just needs to get a bit closer, and he's ready for it. He drops the Tidehunter, and onto the Bristleback as well, but the cancel from the Lightning Bolt out of all things from Hellscream, and that's gonna be taking the Enigma down as well, and Nemiga. They forced out the Black Holes and a couple ultis from X3. Beauty of a Ravage from Vazia. And that's the type of blink reveal you want to have on your support. On your off lane as they take down the support Zeus on the sideline.
To be honest, if they didn't use the Black Hole there and not get any kills, I think X3 would be okay with just losing the OD. That was the blink reveal, and Nemiga don't get any towers, they don't get any map control, they don't do anything more to the Roche, and X3 even the ward division around the mid lane. So in terms of tactical advantages, I'd say X3 are looking quite good right now, and they're the ones that can now go for a smoke and not really be afraid of anything.
Very true. And they're the ones to actually go for the Roche first. And Heritage is outside of the pit. He notices that there's a bug inside the Roche pit, and now an illusion rune as well to be taken from Marine. They're gonna be holding out, sticking to their guns, keeping this game at a stalemate for now. But they are going for the gank squad into the top lane, and Vazia, no Ravage, nowhere to protect themselves, but they're going to be catching off the Warlock who just walked on top of an Obs ward. So they have spotted him, and that's going to instantly get pinged out by Sobat, so he knows they had no way of seeing him unless there was a ward on that area, so...
Right now, because both teams... Oh, they want more.
They want more. He's got the blink available. He's going to toss the Tidehunter. And that's an easy kill.
The biggest advantage now from X3 comes from the fact that they're the dire side. It's easier for them to play the top part of the map, and it's really big because both teams kill the Roche really fast. So playing the top side of the map benefits X3 so much more because they can't get kills. And now they go for mid.
Tusk has no abilities to save himself for the time being, and now the snowball comes available. SMN's going to be their crit just coming in as well to back up. They're going to take down SMN, but Marine's going to go down. Nesphere able to get the kill on the Weaver, and Marcy buying back. Marine goes for the toss. He throws in Heritage. He's got Vanguard and an axe, but he's down to 1500 HP. And SMN just needs to get the dispose out in time and will be able to, but he's turned his back against Natty Narwhal, and he will bounce back so much backwards. They just cannot hit this Bristleback in his thorns.
I'm just thinking, is someone gonna get a silver edge here? I actually wouldn't be mad if Natty Narwhal got it after his BKB. I think it is gonna be a necessity. Every single time that you're hitting the Bristleback from the back, you can't win a fight, especially if there's some fatal bonds involved. So, and you know, black holes, you can't really rely too much on them because there is a chaotic offering on the other side, and it's always gonna be able to cancel it. Yep. But X3 continuing to play really well. Now they send the Weaver to the bottom lane, and Nesphere is very, very fast to immediately go back to top, so Nemiga won't even have time to even poke at the Roche pit.
DD rune on the Tidehunter with the Ravage, and they're going to go inside the Roche pit, but Tiny's Courier is going to scout it out. They won't even use a hero for it. They will use this instead in a rink outside. The smoke comes out as well. One of them will be popping right away. They know that the Tiny is probably somewhere, or somebody is around the Roche pit. Avalanche comes in. He's got the Enigma also ready to go in with the Black Hole. Dodges at least the Ice Shards. Nesphere coming in from the other side. Hellscream trying to keep him away. Here comes the toss from the ring, and here's the Ravage coming, connecting all to 4 heroes. It might just be the downfall of X3. They're going to be losing 1-2 heroes. Malorine's going to be going down, but Roche is so certainty unless Sugarat. Does he go for the Black Hole play? There's still Hellscream outside of the pit who could lightning bolt him, so they won't be able to go in. And Nemiga, they will secure Aegis for themselves, and X3 end up losing 2 heroes with that fight.
It's just so unfortunate that Sugarat doesn't have the blink and the BKB. This just comes down to how bad his lane went, and the Enigma is just underfarmed compared to what you would expect from an Enigma at 21 minutes in. And this is what ultimately loses the fight for X3. Though I think Nesphere was too slow to come back. I think bottom lane, you push out one wave, you immediately run back to the pit. We already mentioned both teams killed the Roach really fast, and X3, they needed to have it on their minds. The best scouting hero for the pit is always going to be the Weaver with this form. Luckily for them, they don't lose the mid lane tower, so they can still play around this one.
Mid tier 1 tower is pretty low as well, so X3, do they want to fight the Aegis? They want to fight Marine at least. Tusk down a half HP. They're spreading out the snowball, but it's actually going backwards and not inside X3's roster. And now Heritage is ready for the damage. Already used the time lapse. No Ravage. There's a Black Hole, but Black Hole Man's not here. BKB also used on Natty Narwhal for just defensive purposes.
There's that timing for Nemiga. 20 to 35 minutes, and now you have that Midas. You need to be hoping that you're gonna be able to farm enough now if you're X3. I think it's time to dodge fights and run around the map split pushing lanes. Weaver needs to be the one doing that, and if Nemiga are getting multiple kills with Ravages, if you're X3 you will lose this game. So you need to make sure that once Ravages are used, it's either you're in a good position with the OD to save someone, which is very unlikely to happen, or two, you just give away one hero with protecting a lot of the map control.
Yep, and Enigma's just been farming his BKB all this time because he really needs it. Should be okay here. Normal just wanting to throw another prison, just wants to keep sapping this mana pool off of the Bristleback. Pump up towards that big ulti if necessary to use it in potentially one of the fights to come. They can't dodge them forever.
They definitely can't.
Scotty also in the works for the Weaver. Is there something you would love to see from the Weaver, or is this Scotty the best that he can go for? It's very good against the Bristle, at least.
I'd actually want him to go for a Daedalus, use the BKB run in killed so bad, or maybe get a Nullifier for a potential Ghost Scepters coming out from the Zeus and the Warlock. I don't think it's his job to deal with the Bristol. It's his job to clear the backlines, and the OD with the Silver Edge will be dealing with the Bristol back.
That is a solid plan. Like, somebody needs to clear the backline, because the problem for the Enigma is, despite you having a BKB, you still can't black hole if the Warlock's alive, or if you don't have a BKB, the Zeus will cancel it. They will hunt down the Tiny. He does die on the other side of the map, though. But they're still pushing on the high ground. He's still got 2 creeps with him. They have to go back to the base.
His time.
Inside the high ground. They have a couple seconds of time to maybe blow up the Bristleback, but it is a very difficult mission.
So Normal is going for a Silver Edge. It's either that or you go for a Hurricane Pike. You push out the Bristleback and then you destroy him, and you just do that over and over again. So those are the 2 paths. I think I'm okay with either one of them. Silver Edge might be the more obvious one, but the Weaver going for a Scotty, I really don't like it. He's not going to be doing any damage in this game.
Yeah, look at the Ravage again. You will find that Normal, and that's your OD dead for 65 seconds. Good opening from Vazia, but Sugargrass still has the black hole. Nobody's jumping the back line, though. Nesphere is hitting the front line currently. They poured down the porridge on the ground. Weaver coming out of Gucci is down to 130 movement speed. Sticky porridge. Ditch getting a tossed back, still has the Aegis. Snowball connecting onto the Marcy. A lot of damage coming in. Barely healing herself with just the 1, but it's not enough. Marine teleports away, and Marine's finding an opening here at the Vazia, but they're just not getting the right targets. They can't get the Aegis out of the Bristleback either. Still 30 seconds. Nesphere diving into the back line. Almost, but Nemiga. Very, very good movement from them. Moving as a pack in and out and keeping the distances. Their backline can never be hurt.
X3 though did save the Raxes. They survived the Aegis timing. You don't have to go towards the top part of the map. We talked about their team. They are mobile, but they're a bit less mobile than the side of Nemiga. So now if you're controlling the bottom part of the map and farming enough, you're okay with it. The thing is, again, the question is, can you survive the Roche fight? Because Nemiga are going to have better wards there. They are going to be better prepared. And we saw inside of the Ravage that any core dies on the side of X3. It's looking pretty grim for them right now. I think now you see the Zeus ulti, you smoke towards top, you prepare vision for the potential next Roche. You cannot just stay on the bottom lane. It's just not gonna be good in the long run. Now it might feel good for them, but in the long run you'll just lose the game with that kind of a movement.
Looking at some of the hero levels as well. Bristol's getting closer to level 20. The rest of the cores 1 or 2 levels behind. That plus 20 health regen up and running. There's the Scotty soon coming up from the Weaver, which will help with that HP regen. Will diminish it by a little bit. We'll find the Tusk. Tusk comes out. Snowball's there as well. They're ready to fight this one. They're all TPing in, and they're ready for it. They will take down the ring first and look for the BKBs on 2 heroes currently. Nesphere has to use this one as well. Marine is still surviving. SM out of the deep on the backline, trying to get to so bad, but he won't be able to get the dispose out at all. And that's 2 dead already. And this is disastrous for X3, and Weaver is just dead. Look at Kiritich running them all down 1 by 1. They all fall.
really wrong.
This
and,
is...
and I'm sure you know it.
I mean, I liked the angle from which they came. But the thing is that with Nemiga having wards on the top lane, they kind of knew from where you were coming from. And it just wasn't the ideal target. This is why, imagine the Weaver having like a Crystallis, Malrine dies there. This is why I wanted the Weaver to go for damage items. Once someone pops a BKB on the side of Nemiga, they just don't take any damage. And that is a problem for X3.
X3, it just feels like it's a bit over for them at this point. It's not all over, but their chances are slowly getting diminished. Nemiga just has free roam, and they seem to definitely be the better team at this current moment, but they just need to keep it up.
I don't think there's much for them to risk right now. They know what their timing is to end this game. It is the next Roche. And X3 are right now with that move that they made and the fight that they lost. They're not gonna have any key items to fight that Roche. We're talking about the Silver Edge on Natty Narwhal. He actually decided to go for a Blink Hex because he sees that he can't go that route. He needs to be the one initiating. And if you're running into enemy territory with just a smoke and Nemiga are ready, and they will be, you will lose that fight.
Man, this is such a hard and Enigma game once you have these Warlocks. We haven't seen a single Golem, and we have seen one quick Black Hole. That's all we've seen this game. Sobat is just enjoying his game right now. SMN's already dead. Ravage beautifully connecting. And that's 2 gone, and make it 3. There's no escaping from the hands of Kiritich, and Vazia has definitely been making a name for himself, at least during the course of this series or throughout this entire tour.
That is the that is what's gonna happen if you're running into enemy vision every single time. It was already shown in this game that whoever gets ravaged just dies, and X3, yeah, this is. As I said, I don't think they have to risk anything. Nemiga don't have to risk it at all. X3 don't have a play. They don't have, with these items right now, they don't really have a play on the map.
It's an option. Hellscream does get taken down as Fear and Shirk are out, able to get some damage dealt here. As Fear already down to 1000 HP, forced all the way back to the base as Nemiga. They've already cleared out 2 lanes of racks, and it's just one more lane to close it out. Roche is up in 2 minutes. Everything is favoring them. What is the desperation play from X3? How do you get to that backline? How do you get to that backline?
I think even if they do get into the backline, not much is gonna change. Warlock, what is he getting? He's getting a blink. Okay, I don't think you get to the backline. The positioning of Nemiga really needs to be messed up for you to get. They have multiple fat heroes, the Tusk, the Tidehunter, and the Bristleback, so they can cover pretty much 3 ways from which you can come and just keep the Warlock and the Zeus somewhere in the middle. Plus, you have the Thunder God's Wrath to see what's going on. I like that X3 got out of their base, so at least they're gonna be controlling the big jungle, but they smoke out of it. So yeah, I think this is the best one, but look at it. Look at how well protected the Warlock is. There isn't a line that you can get to him.
There is always a bodyguard in between, so it does feel like even if the Warlock is protecting the team, it feels like the team is protecting the Warlock. And Malrine spotted in the mid lane, and the ring's going to go in, tossing in Malrine, but the BKB is going to be popped, so it doesn't go all the way through. And SMN in between as well is already taken out of play. Gone for 40 seconds, has a buyback available, but there's nothing to TP to currently in Nemiga. 1 pickoff was all they needed to just push out the waves once again. There are creeps hitting the buildings. Tier 4's in peril.
Nemiga are playing this as safe as you can. You're seeing that they're not going to the right side at all. They're playing the mid lane and the top lane, and that is it. They don't make 1 step towards the right, because by doing that, they're gonna give an angle to which the Weaver or the OD can go towards the back line.
Daedalus Bristleback, ugh.
Are you afraid?
I'm feeling a sting in my feet. I'm feeling a sting in my arms right now. I feel like I've got thorns everywhere at this pace. Like, you see a Daedalus come out on the Bristleback, you know the game's over. And you're feeling very demoralized at that point, because this guy already hits like a truck, and then you're going to get hit by 2 trucks. So what do you get when you put 2 trucks together, Harry?
Not
exactly.
Sure.
You don't get to witness it. You're already gone before you see it happen.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of that.
It's so
way.
much
Okay.
power that you get overpower, and that's the issue. X3 has to fight against Black Hole
Black Hole?
on 3, but here comes the Golem to cancel it out. S-Sphere down before he's able to recover from his stuns, and he doesn't even get the time lapse. S-Sphere, Sugarat down, and with that, it does feel like X3 has seen their last game of the season, potentially. It's now up to the rest of the teams, to Hydra, to No Sorry, if they can still stay alive for a tiebreaker possibility. But right now, their chances are slim. Nemiga's gonna close this series out. They have fought valiantly. They have been showing why they're the #1 team, and they have earned a Division 1 spot with this. Marine with another initiation. OD and Tiny both getting locked down, and they're just right-clicking straight through the BKB. Kiritich, no hoots given, into the fountain, gets the double, gets a triple as well. The guy just hacks them all down one by one. And with that, Nemiga's going into Division 1 for the next tour.
Yep, Nemiga are through. It would be really weird if the bottom-ranked team for the majority of the season would win against the team that basically lost only to Hellraisers, but they have been looking dominant overall in the Division 2. This was a pretty nice performance coming out from them. I liked how X3 played the early game. I think they came prepared for the Tusk, but the thing is that Nemiga kind of changed the item build there on the Tusk. They understood what they needed to do, how they needed to approach the game, when they needed to end it, and that is exactly what they did. I think if there was a perfect timing for you to end the game between 30 and 35 minutes with this kind of a lineup, that would be it.
Yeah, that was a display of skill and a display of understanding of how strong this team can definitely be. Nemiga, who has been improving from one tour to the next tour, and now reaching their peak for quite a long, I mean, I don't even remember the last time we've actually seen Nemiga considered to be inside the tier 2 level of Eastern European Dota. It has been a long time, but I have to say I'm happy. I have to say I'm happy to see that they finally reached that point, because this is probably the best iteration this lineup has had in quite some time. With this roster, with the results that they're getting, the way that they're playing Dota currently is one of the more polished Nemigas we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, they definitely are. They made the big change, you know, removing the Chosen One, who has been part of the team for a very long time.
Yeah.
It was always played from his perspective, and they said, like, yo, get away, old guy. The young ones are gonna take over, and the young ones really did prove themselves. They get to Division 1, I would say, without much pushback. Nemiga really did look amazing in this whole season. They looked amazing today as well.
They looked amazing today, and it's just a very bright future ahead of these guys, and curious to see what's up with them for in the future. I believe we're going to be getting an interview in a little bit as well from the side of Nemiga. I'll just wait for confirmation in just a second. I can see some of the players already jumping in the channel, so don't disappear anywhere. We're going to be going almost straight live into the interview as well. Just waiting for confirmation until that is ready. But still, what can we expect? X3 is in a very difficult situation now. It's down to No Sorry and Hydra if they get to play tiebreakers with this loss. Because if Hydra loses, we get a tiebreaker. If No Sorry loses, we get a tiebreaker. If they both win, X3's out.
I think No Sorry will win. I don't want to say 100%, but I think we're close to that. And Hydra versus PuckChamp, that is a close series. I think that is going to be a very, very close series, and Hydra can lose. So there is still chance for X3 to play Hydra, and I'm thinking with their new and improved playstyle that they actually do have a chance, even though they did lose to Hydra at the earlier time of in this DPC. So it could be something that they're looking forward to, but still Hydra needs to lose against PuckChamp, which is not something that is set in stone.
Right. I'm gonna surprise all of the viewers right now, because I see two people on our interview channel. We have Vazia, and who else do we have here on the line?
Me, Mal Ryan.
Oh, we have Mo Ryan. Awesome. We've got you here as well. Hey, we got a double interview. I think this is really special as well to get both of you guys. Congrats on your win, guys. That was a quick 2-0 in a sense, and you guys are through to Division 1. How does it feel to get there?
Best feeling. I mean, we just we're always gonna win them, and we need preparing for Division 1 now. We made this, and we need to be ready for Division 1 and Quals TI. So just a little step for us, for our team.
I remember when you were kind of left out in a sense, where all of your other teammates, I think that was back in, was it before Creep Wave? When you see all those guys getting picked up by OG and they're getting into Division 1, you're still kind of stuck in Division 2, have to grind your way out, and now you're finally getting there. So what's your mental thought process been throughout these last few months, in a sense that you're finally getting to what you've achieved?
It's probably feelings about not months, 2 years, like
Yeah,
while
yeah.
Keep is just ended, and my boys Amar and others getting first division, and I'm playing somewhere in tier 3, tier 4 teams. Probably um I'm waiting for meet them. Probably this idea keeping my mind and my feeling good. So I try harding always and trying to show my best.
Yeah, yeah. What about Vasya?
Hi, 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 hi.
How are you feeling, man?
I'm enjoy this moment. I just wanna chill now, you know, chilling about Dota. Don't wanna play anymore before patch.
All right, all right.
That's all.
Oh,
All
so
tired.
Malrine, are you gonna be like that? Are you gonna be taking a chill between between now and when the patch comes out, or are you more like I'm gonna grind even more?
Half of my time, we probably have 1 week before quals on major. I don't think I can get it, but we will play it by the way. And I have 1 week. I need to meet with my friends. Even actually, I must to do it after bootcamp, but I said I need to finally finish this game, so then I can full chill. So now, yeah, I probably will play and chill both.
Okay, I'm guessing a lot of people are liking your tusks in mid. So, do you have any words for the fans how to approach the hero? We saw that you didn't have the easiest time now against the OD in the mid lane.
It was hard a bit because I cannot do something to him. No, that's why I decided to bite Midas. I have bad game and my task. I just always I have a special I mean pool of heroes. So I always want to have the good team, and I want to realize my heroes. Task, Timber, who getting banned every game. I didn't even pick it in the division second. So yeah, I'm actually getting a joy from this. And Task OP.
Yeah, Tusk
Yeah, yeah.
seems like a really, really strong hero right now. Vasya, I actually
Yeah.
wanted to ask you one thing. You made an appearance in, I think you played in Tour 1 as a stand-in player. Now that you finally got picked up into the Nemiga roster, how's it felt like to play with these guys? I think that you've got some old teammates as well from some previous rosters, like D2CL and another tournament.
I play with Hellscream for a long time, like 2 years
Mhm.
actually, and we know everyone before we get the stack. So I have no problem with this. I play on Trading Clan before this on Div 1 or Div 2, I mean.
Right.
Standing on Fantastic 5 and no problem with this.
I think one of the coolest things that me and Harry remember from you was your offlane Jakiro. Is that one of your comfort heroes? Is that one of your main heroes?
Not on this patch, I guess.
It was
But
comfortable
before,
hero for team. I mean, team in.
now we can pick Chakira, but
But it's probably gonna be
not every
Malrine
time.
playing it. Yeah, it might be Malrine playing it.
We can swap this hero, not problem, if needed.
Vazia, I heard you laughing there when Malrine almost said a bad word on stream. Do you keep him in check? Do you keep him in check so he doesn't say anything bad?
He know what he needed to say.
I just always looking with group of members, Amar and others, and I don't really thinking about what I'm saying. That's why I'm not even think. I'm just talking.
We are kidding. We are kidding. It's us who are not allowed to say anything bad. You as players, you can say whatever, and the fans they'll forgive you. So don't worry about it.
One thing, Maureen, I remember talking with you in Tour 1. You had a competition with Amar. Who's the better timber saw in the world? Are you the better timber saw now, or do you think Amar still has the title?
We're other position, you know. He's
Yeah.
hard laner, but I played in pub. In DM said he's the best timber saw, but isn't. No,
Okay.
it's not true. Probably
We are
Amar's the
cheering
best.
for you. We
Yeah,
are
I know.
cheering for you.
Even I kidding, but DM actually said it.
Amar
So
best
we're the
post
same.
3, but Malrina best post 2 Timber. It's different.
That's the way, exactly. That's the way it's supposed to go. I only have one more question for you guys, and it's actually not a question. You have made a lot of fans for Nemiga Gaming, and you guys have your own personal fans that have been rooting for you throughout this entire tour. What do you want to say to all the English viewers out there? They're waiting to hear from you guys. Maybe a social media channel to follow.
I very like that I have English fans from other countries, not only CIS. So, guys, follow me, follow for my games. I will try to do my best and show all my heroes, all of me I will show. Thank you for showing me. I mean, seeing me.
Do you have a Twitter page or an Instagram or something?
I'm leaving this, so I'm not using this always, but probably I have it.
Well, if you have any link to toss, we can maybe share forward. Follow these
No.
guys. They're great players. Congratulations. Congrats, guys. You're going to be going into Division 1 for the next season, and hopefully we'll get to hear more about you guys. And you guys are going to be playing in the qualifiers, right, for the major?
Yeah, we will probably on second major we will. We have 2 majors, right?
Right.
Yeah, then TI quals.
And the TI
We're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna make bootcamp so we can prepare for quals. Maybe I can actually close it because we have 3 slots. Now
Well-
it's no, but
I'm not sure you can say this, but
Go ahead if you have something on your mind,
we
Vasil.
will see.
All right. We'll just leave it there. Thank you guys for the interview, and take care of yourselves, and good luck with your games.
yes, thanks.
Thank you for the interview, guys. Good luck. You too.
All right, see you, man. Well,
See
there
you.
we have
Cool.
it. We see Nemiga taking the victory. They're going to be going into Division 1, and Harry's camera has, for some reason, there we go. That is back.
Oh?
No. It was just Discord acting up. So you're back. We see your pretty face once again. East European DPC Division 2 has closed out its 5th week. We've got more Division 1 coming up in I think about a 45, 50-ish minute break. We're going to be jumping in. We're going to be casting that series as well. But onto this remark. They didn't want to reveal too much about their stuff. They still got a lot of games to play. It's not like CSGO where they have the summer break coming up. This entire summer is just filled with more and more Dota for these guys to play. And they've got a good hunger going on. Except Vazia, maybe he felt like, I'm not sure, was he being modest? Or that he said that he's a bit tired of Dota or
he
something?
sounded tired. I think he is tired. When
I
he said,
think he's tired.
I think he's tired of Dota. Sometimes that does happen. Really, it does happen to players. It even happens to casual enjoyers, and they've really been grinding for quite some time now. Grinding through Division 2, grinding through open qualifiers. You know, all of these things they can make a big impact onto your psyche. So I think he was just tired of Dota, and now he can finally relax somewhat because they have achieved something they were striving towards.
Yeah. Well, at least hope that they still have the hunger alive, and of course the willpower to continue on. Because Nemiga 6-1 in their groups, 12-3 in map victories, very good results for them in general, and they've got themselves a good setup for what's to come. So I'm rooting for Nemiga to do well. In especially the TI qualifier is going to be a pretty tough run for them, but they have a chance. They have a shot at it, so I wouldn't count Nemiga out of the race. Not just yet.
We rooted for Bet Boom. They got to the major, did
Yep.
quite well. Hopefully they'll get to TI. I'm not sure if they have the points yet, but they're definitely working towards it. And now we're looking for Nemiga, rooting for Nemiga. So our wishes might just become reality here, and we see both of those teams at TI already.
We'll see if that is the reality to come. But hey, we're going to be taking a break from now and returning with our second series of the day. We're going to be jumping into the LA studio. We've got Natty, we've got Cheapo, we've got Fear coming in for the panel, and we have Team Spirit versus Mind Games. We will be casting that as well with Harry, and then we've got Bet Boom versus Outsiders later on with Lyrical and Trent. So until then, I'm not sure if the stream's going to be up and running. I believe it will. So don't disappear anywhere from the channel. We've got Division 1 Dota coming up after the break. So see you in just a bit, ladies and gents. We'll be back in a bit.